Hey, hey, hey.
Peace. How are
Happy
you?
Thursday. Happy Thursday, Sky. And
Happy
happy
Thursday. Happy
Thursday.
Yes.
Yes,
Leo
Polly Pam.
season. Leo's in
The
the house.
Leos are in the house and we are taking over. Taking over.
Word. Fire signs. Rise up.
Yes,
What's good?
absolutely.
What's good on this new month?
Girl, um, everything is great, new, fresh. And well, yes. So August, I'm hoping is going to be a great month. Although, there is in our community, we have a loss. This great personality, this great person in our community just up and died a day after he was on a show. Um, but yeah, other than
Ooh,
that, we're hoping it's
can you
going to
say
be
who
a
it
great
is?
month. Hmm?
Can you say who it is?
His name is Pinko. So it's actually Rudy's friend, Rudy, who comes on
Yeah.
here a lot. They have a Monday night show together, and I've been on there a couple of times. He's so cool. He's really nice. I've seen him out at a couple of events. I think they had their show on Monday night, and then Tuesday I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, there was news that he was gone. Mm.
Wow.
That's why I say life is short. You got to make sure you are enjoying it and making the best of it because our days here are limited, and I'm not gonna waste time on anything that does not matter.
That that right there. That right
So,
there. So we were invited to another podcast, which was really cool on
yes,
Tuesday. Did you enjoy yourself?
absolutely. I wish I could have been in person at the studio, but unfortunately, I didn't have, I couldn't make arrangements fast enough to be live over there, but it looked like it was a really cool setup. But
Mhm.
I truly enjoyed it. I was truly amazed at how, um, like they were so in
Intrigued,
awe.
right?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah. I
Everything
was
we had to
I was
say.
worried. I was worried that they were gonna be ratchet for
I know,
real.
right? I definitely am not for a ratchet show. If you
I
start out
I, I mean,
ratchet, I'm walking out.
yeah,
But
I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be super bad just because they're a mature crowd, but
mhm,
you know, you just never know.
yeah,
So
you
you
just
just
never
never
know
know.
what you're walking into.
Yeah. So, but they were really respectful
Yeah.
and
They had amazing questions. I really like their questions, very great questions, and pretty much questions that people are still asking till this day, even after we've given them so much information. So much information, the
absolutely,
same questions just keep popping up. So I enjoyed
absolutely.
it.
I'm gonna post a little tiny bit of it so folks can see here, and then I'll put the link so that they can go watch the whole show.
Okay.
Um, let's see.
it can damage a relationship if it's not like a real communicate. What is it? Am I saying the word right?
Yeah,
Communicatable. That's not
Yeah.
a word. Is that a word?
I
Yes.
don't think
That's a
it's a
word.
word.
Yeah, I'm making
We
it
can
up.
make it up.
We'll work
I'm
with
making
it.
this up. Do what I
We'll work
want.
with it. We get the
I
meaning.
would
There we
say
go.
I would say that a lot of swingers
Mm,
turn poly
okay.
because they realize that they're involved with these partners on a regular, basis, party, lifestyle parties, what have you, and they develop emotional connections with them. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they have to navigate that. So yeah, I know a lot of people who have went from being swingers, which eventually gets old,
Hmm.
to being polyamorous. In fact, I was awakened in that same way. I was going to swingers parties, and then I started learning. It opened my eyes to like the fact that sex is bigger than just that. And
Right.
so then I swayed into poly that way. I
Okay.
turned the corner.
And we have to also say that some swingers don't survive the world of polyamory because a lot of swingers they are used to just the physical attraction and attachment. But once the emotion is involved, they cannot handle it. And I know some people have not survived emotional connections to other people, and eventually their dyad pretty much died because of
Yeah.
that.
So you said something a little minute.
So that, that's just a little clip of when we were on Classic Conversations, which is another podcast here in Atlanta that we were invited to be a part of. So that was pretty cool. So I'm going to go grab the link for it so folks can watch it on their own, and I'll post it in the comments and they can grab it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely really cool. Like I said, I enjoyed their questions. They had a lot of great questions. Very respectful, very fun crowd, and very mature.
Absolutely. I'm also going to post the invite if folks want to come and join us by audio or video. Other than that, you can ask questions or make comments in the actual comments section. But if you want to say it verbally, or want to hear your voice, or if you want to be seen, then I posted the link as well. So what are
Yes.
we getting into tonight?
Well, tonight I think we need to dive into polyamory and competition for emotional resources.
Okay.
Um, I feel like again, when you ask people why, even though they think polyamory is a great idea, why are they so afraid of it? It's usually rooted in fear of something. So tonight we want to talk about what those fears are and basically why you feel like you're competing. So
I mean, I think that folks are my basic, just off the top, my basic thought that people feel like they're competing is because of, survival of the fittest will survive. You know what I mean? And I think it goes back to that primal beginning of time thing. Like, it's the guy who is the strongest and the fastest is going to get all the girls. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to that type of basic competition, and it also ties in the monogamous thinking, because it's like, oh, I got to choose one. So
right.
may the best man win, or may the best woman win, whichever direction you're looking in, or may the best person win. So I think that the whole competition mindset is coming from that perspective. But I definitely think that it shouldn't be that way of thinking, because isn't the benefit of polyamory like the greater good? Like, teamwork makes the dream work.
And not for everybody,
Well,
because they want only two people in the team.
they're not
They don't want
they're not for this then. They're not for
exactly.
this. They're not for this. So
Yeah, because people feel like if there is somebody else, then they cannot get enough from you. I have a friend of mine who, I mean, I guess he's single, and he had just started dating this woman, and she wanted all his time. If he was not working his 9 to 5, she wanted whatever time that was left in the day or on the weekend. She wanted that to be spent with her. And it's like, first of all, it is not realistic when you are dealing with an adult, with a responsible adult, with an adult who has a life. I mean, I would totally be concerned if all your free time was spent with me, because it would show that you actually have
Nothing going
no
on.
ambitions, nothing going for you. Like, why am I your only source of entertainment, comfort, all of it? So eventually they had to break things off because he couldn't give her what she wanted. And she didn't want to compete with his friends, with his other jobs, or whatever activities that he had going on. She didn't want that competition because she just wanted it all.
So
So
let me ask you a
eventually,
question. Was this based on a monogamous relationship or was this a poly?
yes, no,
This was
this was
monogamy.
yes, this was monogamy. And that's why I'm approaching it on that end, just to show that's why people are afraid to engage in polyamory. Because imagine this person, this relationship was based on monogamy, and he didn't even have that kind of time, right? So, what if it was a person that is polyamorous? They are now, that little bit of time that he has, he also has to split it with however many partners that he has. Like, no, a lot of people would not be okay with that. So if he has 8 hours to spare in the week, let's say he has two partners that he wants to see that week, well, that means she only gets four and the other person gets four, if that's how he wants to split it. And she would not want that. So a lot of people, they run from polyamory because of that.
Have you heard of the different attachment styles before?
Yes.
Well, this is what it sounds like to me. She sounds like she has anxious attachment.
Yes.
And usually people who have between anxious attachment and avoidant attachment are not really even good for a relationship, period. They
Right.
need to get their whole life together. They need to work on themselves before they get involved with people. People should be involved with people who have secure attachment styles so that there's not all this animosity and anxiousness and, drama. To me, that anxious personality is very much the cause of toxic relationships.
Right. I mean, there might be moments where you are experiencing some anxious attachments, because you could jump from one to another at times, depending on what's going on in your life, in that other person's life, or in the relationship altogether. But overall, you definitely want to connect with people who are in secure um,
Mhm.
attachment style, because it's going to be a lot of work if that person is more on the anxious side than anything. So there's going to be a lot of work on your part that you have to do to make sure that person feels okay, feels secure at all times, because they can't be without you. And there's so much more that you have to provide for that person.
Mhm. Mhm. What do you
So
think of when people? I keep hearing this, and I think this tends to be a new thing, fairly new. Is I keep hearing like, "What's your toxic trait?"
I've
You
seen
have
that.
you? Yeah.
I don't know what to answer to that, because I
We're
don't
not
know.
doing toxic traits.
Right. I'm like, I don't know what
Work
to
those
respond
out.
to that. Maybe give you too much love. I don't know. Care
I
for
see
you.
that.
I
I
don't know
see
if
that
that
all.
would, yeah, I don't know if that would be considered toxic, but I'm just saying it's like, I don't know. What would that be? Do
I'm
you have a
hoping.
toxic trait?
I'm hoping that people work out their toxic traits before they approach me. This is what I'm, you know,
I would hope
because I'm
so.
really not here for the toxic traits. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, oh, we got some communication in the nation. Hey Jay Hardman. I think that's the photographer
Hey,
if I can remember correctly.
okay.
And Dashiki Zoe. Jay says, bring this conversation over to Chatter. I don't even know what Chatter is, but now I'm gonna look it up.
Contact us, Jay. Contact us. We're here. You know where to find the poly pimps.
Absolutely. And Dashiki Zoe says, damn, I learned something new. Attachment style got me thinking about my past. What attachment style do you ladies think is best for poly? That's a good question. I think
Absolutely
secure
secure, not
attachment
just poly.
style is the best for all people,
All people,
not
yes.
just poly, just for everyone.
Overall,
Yeah.
yes.
In fact, let me see if I can look up the actual definition.
Because it would be a lot of pressure on your partner if you're always in an anxious space. And I know some people who operate like that. I have a friend of mine, she used to operate like that, and her relationships would not last very long because as soon as they start connecting and she has all these big dreams and they have to, show certain signs, and when they don't, then she starts feeling like, oh my god, maybe they really don't care about me and things like that, and then that kind of drives people away at times. So it's not good for
Mhm.
anybody, you know.
Right. That part, that part. I'm just looking for a picture of the attachment style
Okay.
thing. They're gonna be here. I'll show you guys this. Can you see it? Are you able to
i
see it?
I see it, but it's not popped up. You didn't bring it up.
Here it is. Yes, there.
Okay.
Okay, so you have secure, comfortable with intimacy and autonomy. That means when people say autonomy means I can be by myself, I could be with you, or I could be alone. Like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
That's the way I break it down. Anxious,
Hmm.
preoccupied, dependent on others for self-worth, preoccupied with relationships. Then you have fearful, avoidant, fearful of intimacy, socially avoidant. Those are people who don't want to get too close. They don't want to. They want to kind of be a kind of like 10. Give me 10 feet before I get too into you. Um, Dismissant, avoidant, strongly independent, downplays importance of relationships. That's also another style of avoidant. So it's mostly avoidant and anxious and secure, and then there's a little bit of both. So I think the fearful avoidant is a little bit of both anxious and avoidant.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yes.
Hey, hey, bartender lady Novia.
Hello there. So yeah, I'm thinking that in order to be in a healthy polyamorous relationship, since we are talking about polyamory, folks
Mm-hmm.
got to be willing to do the work.
Yep.
They got to be willing to do the work, and the work is involving um, dealing like working on yourself, working on your communication, super
Mm-hmm.
huge.
Mm-hmm.
Working on being transparent. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think that things that people think are okay being single is not okay being polyamorous. In other
Right.
words, hey Juan. Um, in other words, if you are dating several people, you should communicate that to the people you are dating that you're dating several people. When you're
Exactly.
single and we'll go like this, monogamous, monogamous, but you're not really being monogamous. You're dating other people. That means
Mm-hmm.
you're engaging with other people, which is a form of non-monogamy. Ethical polyamory falls under the umbrella of ethical non-monogamy, meaning you are moving ethically. So your people need to know that you see other people, and how much you guys delve into the who, what, when, where, and why is between y'all. But your folks should know that you're seeing other people. That's the basic difference between being a single person dating and being a polyamorous person dating. Am I right? Or
Right.
so?
Yep. So what are some emotional resources? What are some example of emotional resources that people would feel like they would be competing for if they were in a polyamorous relationship?
I don't know if this is an emotional resource, but I find time spent together, like quality time,
Hmm.
is hard to come by in polyamory. And I think that is something that people are like, I don't know if I can do this because, especially transitioning from monogamy to polyamory, you have to
Right.
be really secure with yourself because you're not going to be not necessarily going to be involved with your
Mhm.
persons on a regular basis,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean,
And
I would definitely add it under the emotional resources too, because without the time, you can't spend, like, you can't be together, right?
Mhm.
We both got to find a time to hang out, to cuddle and do all kinds of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, let's say, for example, one of my partners was in town, and I mean, he only had a very limited amount of time, but he had to share that time between partners that he has. So, let's say I was in a monogamous world, I would want all the time that he's spending here because I haven't seen you in a while. So I want to spend as much time with you as possible. But in my non-monogamous world, that's not really a thing. That little bit of time that he has somehow has to be split amongst all the partners because nobody has seen him in a while. So um, it can be challenging because it's like, oh, I really wish I could spend more time with you. It's always like, oh, it's so hard when you're leaving. But at the same time, it's kind of like it is what it is, and you just try to make the best of the time that you have. Like, I'm in a old lady era right now. I am perfectly happy just cuddling for however long it is. If we only have one day, guess what? We're gonna cuddle for the majority of the day. We're gonna get up and eat and do stuff, but we're gonna cuddle. And if we need to be in silence with each other, that works too. So I can just really enjoy that moment because I'm gonna have plenty of time to talk to you later, you know. So I would definitely put time under competition for emotional resources.
Absolutely.
Another one I think is a good one is affection, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
um, sometimes people can be saturated in life, right? So if they're not feeling themselves, you may not get attention or affection from them like you would want to.
Mm-hmm.
So some people would be, again, feel like, well, I don't want to have to share that little bit of great mood that he has left or she has left with anybody else. So I don't know. I think because I think affection brings closeness too. So
Mm-hmm. I tend to think um, that even though like the pro side of small pieces of time, I think the pro side is that when you do get to finally see your person after a while has passed, you cherish it so much. And
yes,
it's almost like dessert, it's this ice cream. It's like,
you take
you're,
your time with it.
yeah, like, and also you're like so excited. It's not like, I almost see like the benefit of seeing someone is it's all good. You know what I mean? Like there's really no time to fuss about anything. Like we're just going to enjoy
Right,
this like dessert, This is
right.
chocolate, ice cream, and syrup on
No
top.
time to be bickering at
Yeah,
all.
we're just gonna like
I know.
lick it up. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, and it almost makes it sweeter to me too. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Absolutely.
it's pure ice cream.
Hmm.
Um, that's a pro side of it. But it is challenging because sometimes you just want to see your person or be with your person, and you got to schedule it out and be like, but then you also on the other side you look forward to that time. So
Right.
it's a balancing act.
Mhm.
Other challenges, um I had something. Ooh, I went blank.
It's okay. We can continue. It probably will get back to you in a second. I think also communication can fall under emotional resources, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it is such a beautiful thing when you are dealing with an emotionally mature person
Mm,
and you can actually have good communication. I'm not saying you're always going to be in agreement, but when you're not in agreement, it's not a fight, it's a conversation. Um, so I think that's an emotional resource as well because not everybody possess that and not everybody has the patience for that with everyone either.
hmm I
Because
have I have a friend whose partner said they're getting it together, like relationship wise, and he said to her, "Let's sit down and talk about how this is going to go." And I just love that. Like that is
yeah,
so good to like have the business of the relationship conversation. Like
mhm,
this is how we're going to deal with each other. This is how we're going to schedule it. This is how we're going to communicate with one another. What do you need? What days do you need? Do you need a morning, a breakfast, a dinner, a lunch? Like what types of how to do you and how to do me
right.
conversation. Perfect.
Mhm,
I think that is so important to have, because a lot of people just go through like, you know, trial and error. You know what I mean? They're like, let's
yeah,
just see if we get this right. And just having like a game plan from the beginning is like
right.
super dope, you know?
Yeah. I mean, communication is definitely, I feel like one of the top emotional resources. Um, because I love having a great conversation. I ask a lot of questions and I ask specific questions and I want specific answers to my questions. So like was it yesterday or a couple of days ago, I sent my partner something just about a bunch of stuff. And then when I opened it up, I was like, "Oh, I just wrote a book basically." So you're gonna need some time to go through this. This is not a quick uh read. But I kind of like having that kind of connection with somebody where you can just like go on or be on the phone for like a good while and the conversation just keep flowing. It's such a
Mhm.
great part of intimacy as well when you can have great communication with somebody.
So what do you think about those types of relationships where the communication isn't on point? Do you think that's a death mark for the relationship?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like we've all been there. I've been there, done that. I am not interested to go back there. And anybody who cannot communicate on my level or higher, it's a big no-no for me. And it's fine. We're all on different levels. And it took me a minute to get to where I am today. But overall, I feel like I've always been a decent communicator. Um, just because I always spoke out. Now,
Mhm.
I'm the type that'll give you two tries, right? I'm gonna be gentle the first couple of times, and then you're gonna see my horns come out if I have to say the same things again.
Mhm.
Um, so that's just how I used to be. But now, if I have to even get in that space, yeah, we're not gonna work because
Well, but
one
here's
of
the thing. Don't you think of like some people give you that deep conversation, the hot topics, the what's going on in the world, like what's, Kamala this and blah blah blah, Olympics. And then some people, I'll say some guys, they don't really have depth. They don't have
right,
depth to their communication style or what have you, but you're attracted to them. Could it just be that particular thing over here and then this type of person over here? Like you can literally have a whole plate of the types
Oh,
of men.
absolutely.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to have, everyone doesn't need a degree to
Oh,
communicate.
no.
You can have a variety of people that are like interesting, intriguing. Some have a little bit more intelligence in terms of how deep the conversations go. Some have super surface, superficial conversations. That's where it is. But it's just a mix of people that you're involved with, and it's all good.
Yeah, but when I was talking about communication, it's not even necessarily just the conversations, it's the way of communicating, conflict resolution and all of that, part of that communication thing.
Yeah.
That's more like where I was going. No, because I have people that we're only superficial. We don't
Mhm.
dive deep into anything. We
Mhm.
don't need to
Right.
because that's not the kind of relationship we have.
Right.
And it's okay, you
Right.
know? Yeah. You're
Conflict
not my
resolution.
person to go deep with. I'm not your person to go deep with, and it's perfectly fine.
Right. Conflict resolution is a huge.
That's my biggest thing.
Ooh.
Conflict
Ooh.
resolution. How do we deal with that?
Yeah. Yeah. There's some folks who have no clue. And that should be a conversation. Like, if we have a disagreement, how is this going to go?
Yeah. And then I was having a conversation with somebody, was it in a group? I can't even remember. But anyway, I think it was in a group actually. And somebody posted something about, oh, this person yelled at me, yada yada, always yelling at me. I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna find me in that kind of relationship because you yell at me, I'm
It's over.
gone.
I'm
I'm not
out.
even gonna yell back because I don't want to go back to that space. I've been there,
Yeah.
done that, and I'm choosing to not exist in that space. I've always been the type, like if we have a disagreement and I feel like it's gonna get up there,
Yeah.
I pull back. You might get the silent treatment for a while because I need to cool down. First of all, I do not like to apologize. Now, I will apologize when I absolutely need to, but I always try to not put myself in situations where I have to apologize. So
Mhm.
that's why I don't usually blow up. It takes a lot to get me there, but once I'm there, that's it. Like, you're going
Mhm.
to have to go find some spirits to bring me down, pretty much. So that's why I tell people I'm not in the yelling business anymore. If you yell at me, I pretty much can guarantee you that we are done. I don't care what you're yelling at me for, whether I was wrong or not. You don't yell at me. And then I don't yell at you either. I'm going to take
Mhm.
my time. And if I can't speak without yelling in the moment, I'm going to pull back until I can calm myself down because I'm choosing to not exist in that space.
I feel you. I mean, I lived it. When I was married, we made, that was an agreement we made, and most people thought we were nuts. And I was like, yeah, we had not one. We argued, but it was more. It looked more like a debate or a
Mhm.
conversation. But
Heated conversation, that's
it was
fine.
a heated conversation sometimes, but it never got to like the cursing and the yelling
Mhm.
ever. Like, that was a hard no for both of us because we had already been in relationships that went like that, and they were very
Right.
hurtful. And so, yeah, I lived that way for 10 years and I ain't never going back. When I realized that people can actually, how do you say you love somebody and you won't curse them out? Oh, you can't come back.
Right.
Yeah, you can't
Or
come back.
get called names
Yeah,
and
no.
then
No.
for me to be
And
okay with you after that?
no, and
Nah,
the worst,
sorry.
to me, the worst part is people live in those relationships
Yes.
and
I
stay in
see
them.
those
And
all the
I'm just
time.
like,
I see them all the time, like
there's just
somebody
no way
calling
in the
you.
world. Huh?
Yeah. No, I'm saying I see those all the time. Somebody calling each other the B word or the
Mhm.
MF word, and then all of a sudden they're back together and
Mhm.
it's all lovey dovey. It's like, yeah, no,
Not
once those
even,
words come out, we're
no,
done.
not even back together. They never broke up. It's just part of the
Right.
way we communicate with each other.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Nah.
I don't know what horse I rode on, but I'm riding right back out with it because I'm
Exactly.
just like, I just don't want to be in a place where that level of communication is okay
Yeah.
ever.
Never.
Never.
It'll
I'm on,
never be okay with me. Once those words come out of your mouth, consider us done.
yeah. I did date a guy briefly who went there, and I was like, oh, okay, peace.
Yeah, that's a hard boundary for
I was
me.
like, go in peace.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I don't know what I did to irritate you that horribly, but
Right.
if you feel that vile about how I move or how I create or whatever, then it's time for you to go find that woman who will do it the way you need it to be done. Because there's no way in the world you're gonna talk to me kind of crazy out the side of your face. That's just not gonna happen. So, but
Right.
yeah, what else? Are those all the challenges? Um, I think people don't pursue polyamory. I think the biggest thing is fear. That's what I think it is. And I
Fear,
think
mostly.
it's mostly fear. And I think there's a couple ways that you could look at fear. One of them is pure fear. Like, for example, guys,
Judgment.
men telling, like, they like it. They, first of all, they're intrigued. You could tell from like the podcast we had the other day. They're like, oh, polyamory sounds good. It
Yeah.
sounds good in their mind because they're like, oh, I could see her.
I can be legit with my side chicks.
Right. But then on the other side, they're like, wait a minute, but she also dates him
Right.
and him, and then she dates him and my friend, and then
Yeah.
and
I
they're like,
can't have
oh,
that.
no, I can't do that. I can't do
I
that.
can have my woman do that.
I can't have, I no, she's all mine. She is mine, possession, right? So that's a big fear, right? I saw one, I think I posted it on the Polypimps Instagram page. This guy, he's married. It was a cartoon. He saw his wife, his wife was like in the bathroom or shower or something, and her phone rings, and the phone said like sexy Daryl or something like that, right? And he said, what the hell? So he goes and answers the phone. He's like, hello? He's like, yeah, let me speak to Keisha. Well, this is Keisha's husband. And who is this? And he's like, this is Daryl. This is her man. And he's like, no, siree. She don't got no man. I'm her husband for 5 years. And Daryl said, oh, hell no. I've been her boyfriend for 8 months. He said, what? Oh, this is a problem. He said, well, you go tell Keisha that I said I'm gonna stop paying the Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna stop paying for the food that I've been sending over there. And then the husband goes, oh, that's you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I saw that. I saw
Yeah,
that.
you're good. I'm not her husband. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So,
They want the advantages, those kind of advantages.
right.
But,
So like when you look at it that way, not necessarily the financial part, but when you look at it from a perspective of when you are that person's person, you got to be that person's everything.
right.
Everything. So literally, when you realize that you don't have to be that person's everything and still enjoy them, yo, that's a benefit. I don't see why that's not a benefit, you know?
Right.
So, but you know, a lot of folks, they don't look at it that way. There's a lot of fear in, and then another fear they have is like, if you are seeing such and such, I'm going to lose you. That other person is going to be better than me, sexier, look better, act better, treat you better, have more money, can do more, can do this, can do that. And there's a fear of like, I'm going to lose you because I don't match. I'm not a match, you know?
Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine and I forgot how threesome came up. And their reason for not, I mean, they were like, it sounds pretty good, but I would not want that because I would want more of him. Like in that session, basically, as soon as he would give her a little bit of attention, she would want to pull him back because she would want more, like the most attention has to be on her, that kind of
Right,
stuff. So yeah.
right, right. So I'm gonna also post.
Hello, Jay. Hello, JT.
Oh, I think JT is from the classic
Classic
conversations.
conversations.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think that's the
welcome on
same.
our
I think that's
welcome
the
to our
same JT.
podcast.
If you
Yeah.
want to jump in, JT, feel free to click the link that I just posted, and we can continue our conversation from the other night.
But yeah,
Seriously.
so a lot of people, it's more like the attention. Um, you know, so I know this person. I was just thinking about it the other day because I'm in so many groups, but I'm in this woman group on Facebook. It's hilarious because there's always a bunch of girls talking about side chicks. I mean, basically slut shaming, and it's shaming the side chicks, but it's never their husband, it's the side chick's fault. That's, you know, just basically seducing their men. And I got to thinking about it, and I've known this person, this man, for God, over 2 decades, right? And as long as I've known this man, he's had two main women in his life. He has the wife and then the other woman. And now when I look at those stories, I'm always thinking like, so would the
I don't
wife?
know. I think you.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm. With the wife, what? I didn't hear what you said.
No, I because you were saying something. I said, would the wife try to slut shame that other woman and call her a side chick? And I'm like, there's no way this woman is a side chick because again, I've known this person for over 2 decades, right? And he's been with both women the whole time that I've known him. So I'm like, who's the side chick in this situation? Is there truly a side chick? Um, but I don't, I think the wife probably at some point was afraid to lose him to the side chick. But I don't even think the side chicks usually are afraid to lose to anything because it's like, well, this
The
person
side
is
chicks have
choosing
the
me
upper
already.
hand. Let's just be
Right.
real. If you're gonna
Yeah.
do it, be the side chick because you're gonna be winning.
Yeah.
JT has posted in regards to the other person being better, being more. Does that happen often?
Well, I think a lot of people in their mind, that's what they fear. That's a lot of people, that's why they get so jealous and get violent too, because they think they are competing for this person's attention because now you just met this person, she might be better, more beautiful, more money, like Sky said. Um, you might find them better than me. Um, so I think, yes, a lot of people experience that, but you have to be dealing with a mature person when it comes to polyamory to not, I'm not saying to not feel that way. Your partner has to be able to reassure you a little bit, but at the same time, you have to do the work yourself to find out where those insecurities are coming from. It's technically not your partner's problem, but they can try and support you while you figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if someone is like they're afraid to be, they're afraid. I mean, I feel I'm not gonna say polyamory just means that okay, it's okay, but
Right.
because if we
It's
just
not happy day every day.
right, and also like we keep using all that terminology, right? If we just erase the language and just deal with people, you still got to communicate, right? So you still got to say like your partner's like, "Are you going out again? Like why you got a new date? Like what's going on?" So I think there still has to be a what are we doing? And what is it that you're not getting that you still are dating other people? Like that's the type of conversations I would need to have in order to like, well, I'm not dating other people because you lack in anything. I'm dating other people because I'm free to do what I want to do and I want to have fun and I'm someone's going to take me out, we're going to go out and have fun. Period. If you need more time and you want to spend more time with me, we could talk about that. But me
Right.
talking to other people and doing, having fun, enjoying this life has no reflection on me not getting my needs met through you. Like that's how I would approach it.
Somebody said, let's not approach polyamory from a point of lack, but more for a point of abundance. And I was like,
Absolutely.
I feel that. I
A
hear
hundred
that.
percent. A hundred
Yes,
percent.
because a lot of times they're always like, oh, so you can't get this from this partner. Is that why you having this other partner? Well, that other partner may not have that either. So how about it's like, you know what? I got this from this person. He's a great artist or whatever. And then I get this from this other person. It's abundance rather than, oh,
It
I'm
is
not getting
abundance.
this from
It's
this
abundance.
person. So I'm going to look for it in that other person.
So I was
So,
talking to my ex-husband about polyamory, and he's watched some of the podcasts, and he said that the thing he doesn't like about it is it's too individualistic and it's not very familial, like, you know,
yeah.
the coming
But
together.
people are threatened sometimes with autonomy.
Very much.
It's
I
kind of like
feel
when people are saying, "Oh, I'm in my selfish era," right? Everybody hates that, but technically, I am allowed to be in my selfish era where I'm taking care of me. But everybody wants you to take care of them at all times, and
the greater
sometimes you
good.
have to be selfish. So people do not like when you are autonomous because they can get you whenever they want. They can get you to do whatever they want you to do, when they want you to do it, how they want you to do it. So that's why a lot of people they don't like it.
I think also I agree with that because I think that you know, sometimes people got to strengthen up them their self, you know, and they can't be good for the greater good of their family unit, their tribe, their people, whomever, if they themselves are not good. You know,
Exactly.
sometimes you just got to do you and get yourself whole, right? But
Right.
I was countering what he was saying because I think it's very, very community based. I think that, I mean, the fact that I have a network of women and men who I can call on for a multitude of things is really more amazing than just the nuclear family. And I had read an article a long time ago that the nuclear family is the failure of our society because economically it doesn't even make sense. The real true family is the extended family, and that's what our families used to be. And anytime you say like this whole American life where at 18 years old a kid got to go to college and get the hell on and try to make a way out here in 2024, it's not going to happen. It's very difficult for students to, for young people to get out of their home and go make a life. It family units need to be together, and whatever the family looks like, it could be
Right.
the biological people. I mean, just the fact that you have a business and you have kids, you're going to need some type of support for your children around you, surrounded. It could be the mother, the father, aunties, uncles. It could be boyfriends and girlfriends and whomever
Stepmoms,
else,
stepdads, all of it.
whatever it looks like, all of it.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
the extended family.
Yeah. Because I mean, like you said, honestly, I feel like we are in a society where everybody is for themselves. And again, I am part of that society as well sometimes because I do know some of my neighbors, but I don't know all my neighbors. And I live in a very, very small neighborhood. I know my immediate neighbors, right? So I do have a network, but at the end of the day, I don't feel like we extend ourselves anymore. I I have people who will show up for me when I'm in need. If I call on them, they are going to be there for me. So they are that extended family. Now, some people may find it not so good if I say, oh, this partner, this boyfriend, that boyfriend is going to come stand for me while I cannot be here for my children just because there's a romantic connection to that person. But let me say, oh, this friend, that friend is going to come stand for me. They find it perfectly normal because a lot of pushback that I get to is like around kids. Oh, you bring in all these men around your children. And it's like, what difference does it make that I have a romantic relationship with those people versus friendship? Because if they were just plain friends, nobody would bat an eye for them coming to help me. Why is it so wrong?
Mhm.
Because they are boyfriends,
Mhm.
help is help, and especially if it's somebody that you can trust and is there for you. Because they say,
Right.
because then they're gonna be like, oh, this person can hurt your kids. The same way that this person can hurt my kids, the friend can hurt my kids too. It's people who are familiar with you who will go that route. It's
Here's
not
another
others.
Here's another question. Hey Ryan, he says, can you be selfish and part of a community at the same time? I like
Absolutely,
I
I
like that.
think so. Yes, because just because I am part of a community doesn't mean that I'm not gonna withdraw when I need to withdraw. Like even at home, sometimes I come home and I don't have it in me to mom for the rest of the day. So I let my kids know. I mean, obviously they have everything they need, like let's say food or whatever. Tonight may not be the night that I'm gonna spend time with you because I need some time for myself to be the better mom for you tomorrow. So I am selfish in that moment and I'm going to take that time for myself, but I'm also part of a community. If somebody needs me tomorrow, I will be there, just not tonight. Find somebody else, depending on the situation too. Obviously, if it's like a super emergency, I'm going to have to get out of the selfish mode and go help. But a lot of times we keep sacrificing ourselves. So it's going to depend on the urgency, I guess, of the moment, I would say.
I think the part of being selfish and part of the community, the way I kind of look at it more so is, I think other people call polyamory selfish. That you're being selfish because you want to have so many people in your life, or you want to engage the way you do. I think they call that's being selfish. You're being selfish because you're being autonomous and you're not narrowing it down to one person or what have you. So that's what I don't really consider being. I don't consider selfish the way that you're being selfish and part of the community. I think the
Right.
greater extension of it is being polyamorous means that I'm not being selfish because I am embracing the community. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not being selfish if I'm embracing the community. I think of it a little bit different.
Right.
Juan says, is it possible for everyone you're involved with to be able to call others in your universe, or does your universe only benefit you?
It's for everybody if they're in touch, if they're like, because I mean, I got you through my connection with Jay. You got me through your connection with Jay.
Mhm.
So now I can call on you. And um, I have my other meta through my other partner. And I know I've had other partners that have friends that I have met. And now they are my friends as well. So they are part of my universe now. I am part of their
Absolutely.
universe. So they can call on me the same way I can call on them for
Absolutely.
whatever I think they can help me with, and vice versa. So yeah, it's not
Absolutely.
just for your benefit.
Absolutely. I mean, I met is it Marcus? Anyway,
Mark, like,
your
oh,
Marcus,
Yeah, Marquez.
Julie,
Yes,
all of those folks through the circle, right?
yes.
Through Novia's circle, I met Ryan. He came to Atlanta, and that was through her connection, and
Mhm.
it becomes a web.
Yes.
Um, I
It's a
know,
community.
yeah, yeah. I know years ago, I was seeing two guys and they were at the house at the same time. I was like, I love this.
Yes.
And they got each other's phone number
Mhm.
and they were calling each other because one I was mad with, and I was kind of like, you know, I'm not talking to you right now. And he called the other one, like, where's Sky? Where is she? I can't reach her. He was like, I don't know. She ain't talking to me either. And it was funny to me because I was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
really this is really humorous to me, but yeah, it is. It shouldn't benefit only you. It should benefit the greater good, because that's what the building of the community is, you know. And I definitely have to admit, I don't know if this is one of those the questions you had at the beginning with who is in your group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely a little bit judgmental of who is in the circle, because I was dating someone and their other partner was gully, undesirable in my book.
Yeah.
And I was judgmental. I couldn't veto that particular situation because that wasn't the type of world we were on.
Yeah.
But I definitely was very not cool with that connection. And it was only because, and this is what makes it very difficult. You can't pick your partner's partner, right? But I also don't have to include you in my cipher because I don't feel you. So
Exactly.
I only feel who I feel. So if you're involved with someone who I can't connect with for any reason, that's fine.
Yeah.
But take them over yonder,
Yeah.
like go that way with them. If I meet your partner or, someone you're just talking to or your friend and they're cool, I definitely want them around me. I was like, oh, bring her, but energy is everything to me. And if you got some whack ass,
I've been in that situation
and I'm
before.
going to be verbal about it. I'm not going to be verbal to the woman or the other.
Right.
I'm going to be like, you know what? That's your thing, but
Stay over there with
it
it.
doesn't feel right for my spirit. So you're going to
Yeah.
have to do that over yonder. So
I've
yeah.
been there before. Again, we know people that we can get along with. Like that's how we met. You know,
Mhm.
we were intentional too about that. But I've had partners who had people that I'm just like not interested at all.
No.
And I had one person ask me one time, "Oh, can I bring them to your thing?" I said, "Absolutely not. You can go wherever you want with them. Just don't bring them into my space. They don't have to be in my space. You can, I mean, I can't tell you who to hang out with, who to connect with, who to love. I cannot tell you that, but I can definitely tell you no to bring in any bad energy into my space. But I
That
also,
already happened to me. That did
yeah,
happen to me as well.
and I
So
also have partners that I've taken into other partners' space and they connected. Oh, recently, actually, a partner reached out. He's like, "Hey, can you give me so and so's number? Because I'm trying to do something and they can help me with that." So technically, I connected them. I gave him the person's number and he reached out for a project that he needed that person was going to be able to help him with. And it's like this is what I love. I absolutely love that I can connect people. So yes, it's a community and it's not just for our benefit. Other people benefit from it as well.
as well. And that's the thing. I think that when you are this is good juice for y'all poly new people out there. When you are involved with somebody and then you start seeing somebody else, you really, really, really need to be very gentle in how you initiate the connection, because I don't really care how deep, if you were born in a polyamorous relationship, your parents are poly. I don't really care, because the world we live in is super monogamous and it just operates in that fashion.
In
So
that
you
fashion,
can't just
exactly.
assume that folks are going to be cool with the movement of how you move. You got to really, you got to be graceful with it. So we got a big old comment that just popped up. Let's see what this says. Kelly. Hello, ladies. I'm very interested in the poly community and always looking to learn more about it. I have not technically participated or labeled myself as poly, but I definitely find myself needing more than one partner. I find it hard to get what I need from one person, so I date multiple people due to that. Does that necessarily make me poly, or is it more based off of monogamous and non-beautiful monogamy relationship? Not non-beautiful? Yeah.
Well,
Or maybe ethical was the word. I don't know.
yeah, I think maybe transparency is probably your basis, just like we were talking about last night on Classic Conversations. Um, Transparency is like the base of polyamory, and a lot of people don't have that. I mean, you already non-monogamous, basically. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to do
Most
it
people
ethically.
are.
Yes, do the
Let's be
people
real.
that you, yeah, do the people that you seek or communicate or connect with, do they know how you move and how you connect with people? Do you let them know up front, or do you let them get to that point where they like you? Now they, and then you tell them, and then they feel like, oh, I
Oh no,
already
I
like
can't do
her so
that.
much. I can't
I
leave her.
can't do
What do
it.
I do? Right. So, and you know what? All we have to start somewhere. As long as you are transparent in your moves, I think it's a great way to start and educate yourself. There's so much out there, so much um, resources for you to find what your ideal scenario looks like. Don't be too stuck on anything. Allow yourself to explore and learn some things, and in that way you can figure it out like where you want to be.
Also, another thing, Kelly, we use the terminology polyamory a lot and we use all these words, and I think they're really just for understanding. But you don't have to label yourself as polyamorous. You don't have to use terminology whatsoever. I think the terminology is really good just for connecting with others who are doing the same thing. But if you live that way and you're ethical and you communicate with your people, whoever you're seeing, that, I'm seeing Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. And Mike, if you want to meet Ronnie, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if you carry it, labels don't mean anything, and
Exactly.
Ronnie and Mike don't need to meet either. I'm just saying,
Mhm.
like, just in how you is the ethical part is the part that makes it the gel. So if you're just like transparent and let people have an opportunity to know how you roll, that's really all you need. You don't need to label yourself as anything. In my
Now, also don't be afraid, because you will be rejected. Now you got to start learning to be okay with rejection, because people will reject you because you are transparent in how you move in,
Oh my
because you
god.
are letting them know upfront, I am non-monogamous and this is how I move. So don't feel distraught when somebody's like, well, that's not how I do, and just let them know kindly, all right, no problem, and keep it moving.
Oh, let me tell you, and it will be so many rejections.
Yes. And it's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, you will not feel pressured
I
into
have
anything.
never in my life been dumped more than I've ever been until the last few years, and I've just been like, damn.
I know,
But it's
right?
all good. Yeah, it's been crazy. Frank says, wait, this is totally interesting. I'm not poly, but I will definitely not judge. I'm trying not to. He's like, I'm trying not
I'm
to.
trying not to, but I am gonna do it. I am judging you right now, you slut. No, not what he said
I
at
got some
all.
ideas in my head, but I don't want to say it. We've been called everything, Frank. So, like,
It's
whatever.
okay.
Um, right. JT says, so within a situation like that, have you met a partner slash friend of a friend that was not desirable visually, but had a cool personality
All the time.
all the time? Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, but again, just because you meet your partner's friend or your partner's partner, that doesn't mean that you're going to be involved with them in on any level. You can choose to be friends with them, romantic with them, or whatever you choose, or not be involved with them at all whatsoever. There is no obligation. That's the beauty of this. Nobody can force you to connect with somebody that you want no connection with. That
Hmm.
is the
And
beauty of it.
And another thing about, like, I think we got caught up on terminology, so I'm conscious of it now, right? But
Mhm.
once again, carry it on the way you want to. Just give people the choice to know how you're carrying it, right? Another
Don't make
thing,
the choices for them.
right? And I also think that, I mean, I've seen this before. People like, well, I met this guy and we've been hitting it off, blah blah blah. And a month later, but you know, I'm really afraid. I got to tell him that I have a whole other boyfriend. Okay, don't do that.
Right.
Tell
That
that
is not ethical at all.
right. Tell that right on day one, plain
Yes.
and simple. Put a sign up. Do whatever you got to do. That you got other situations,
Word,
situationships,
name tag,
whatever
something.
you got to do. Let them know at the moment, because it's really not fair to people that, you know, you got a whole wife at home and you trying to holler at somebody and they're like, ooh, they're like, their mind goes into like, ooh, fantasies and visions and all this stuff, and then you're like, yeah, no, we're not going to be able to live together because I actually live with someone, you know. um
Right.
doesn't work. Just doesn't work. Another
Clear
thing that,
communication.
clear communication. Another thing I was thinking about that people don't seem to realize, um is not all poly relationships are sexual. A lot of
Right.
people like me, they just think like, if I have 99, oh, I am blazing in the bedroom. There's a hole in my bed, you know what I'm saying? And it's open.
Right.
But
It's a revolving door.
no, you can have partners, you can have whole life. When I say life partners, I'm talking ride or die for you that
Right.
you don't sleep with.
Right.
And I'm sure people have that. Oh, you're just talking about a best friend. Call it whatever
Call it
words you
whatever
want.
you
You can
want.
call it whatever you want to. It doesn't
But
really matter.
But so here's the thing too, because people tend to downplay any relationship
Mhm.
that does not have sex involved. I could do everything with that person that a couple would do, right? We
Right.
do everything together. We build things together. We cuddle. We have different types of intimacy together. But because we're not doing penis and vagina sex, well, then it's not really a real relationship. You can't call that a real relationship, you know? But a lot of times, my relationship is actually more serious than the person that you're boning, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
JT said, first thing most people think, especially men. Of course. As soon as you say you're poly, the first comment is, oh, you like threesomes, oh, you get down. And it's really not that. It's really a
ETF.
mind, it's a mindset, you know. But the fact
Hmm.
that, and then maybe we should call polyamory something else, because that way it'll give people like a better idea of what it really looks like. You know what I mean? Because it's, I don't know, people get caught up on words.
Yeah. But we do need words. We do need labels because how am I going to know what a chair is? When I say a chair, we all know what we're talking about, right? Now we have different types of chairs. Is it a desk chair? Is it a sofa? Is it a sexy loungy chair? I mean, we need labels for a reason. So we know if I'm talking about a table, you already have in mind what that looks like. Now it's just it. Now we're gonna go into
But
details. We
if I
do need
say
labels.
if I say he's my friend, what type of friend are we talking about?
And that's what I'm saying.
Friend,
Like,
friend, your
do we
kind of
are we
friend, your sex friend, your life friend, your partner friend. What kind of friend are we dealing with?
it's the same as things
You
like that.
guess.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
don't matter.
What kind of
Share
details you want to know? That's what I'm saying. Like
or
we
need
can
to
go
know.
into
Some people
details.
don't need to know
Yeah. Oh
everything.
no, no, not everybody needs to know everything. I'm saying the depth, I guess, of the relationship lies in the details. You don't have to know the depth of my relationship with this person if I don't choose to share it with you. You know what I'm saying? So I can call anybody a friend because every relationship is based on friendship anyway. All my relationships have friendship at the base. So
Friendship. If you don't have friendship as the foundation, it's
yeah,
gonna
you're
sink
done
into the ocean of oblivion.
pretty much.
JT says, damn, another word to add to the terminology.
What? What's the word, JT?
Word.
What's the word, JT?
Kaim says transparency is very liberating. Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you, Kaim. Thank you. Yes.
Transparency is one of the words. Another word, did we talk about compersion the other day? We didn't talk about
We did not know that'll be for the second time that we go
It
on
must be
classic
because
conversations.
we were on such basic. We were on basic 101. But compersion, let me tell you about he says share. He says share is the word. That is hilarious.
It is a word. It is a word because there's so much you can do with a chair, JT.
So compersion is level 201. Is the next level on this whole quest for multiple love life. Compersion, JT and others, is the opposite of jealousy, right? Yes. So when your child comes to you and says, "Hey, Daddy, I got an A in that project I did. Isn't that awesome? Look, here's that A." And you are like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy that you're happy that you got an A." That's compersion, right? So now when you look at it from the perspective of
polyamory, relationship.
When your woman comes to you and says, "Hey, oh my God, I just met the sweetest guy. He is so cute and fun.
I can't wait to go out with him.
Give him my number. He's going to call me. I'm so excited." And you go, "Girl, I'm so happy for you. I can't wait.
Go get him.
Meet him too." That's called compersion.
That is compersion.
That is compersion. Yes. Now, when we get to that level of love, the universe will explode. I'm going to tell you right now.
Now, I have to say, I am a very compersive person. Is that a word? Yes, compersive person. But I went through a short period of time where I had none, zero, nada. Like, now I wasn't mad. It was just kind of like, all right, whatevs. I'm not excited for you, but I'm not mad either. So it's like, go live your life. I don't care. So you're not always going to have it. And sometimes you will always have it, but it's not a must to be a polyamorous person, but it is that space when you're in it. It feels amazing. Just kind of like transparency. It's liberating.
It really is. So, yeah.
Oh, JT said, yes.
So looking forward to the follow-up show we have. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
I like being in the studio. It felt kind of like I was on a real studio stage.
Huh?
Yeah, it felt professional. I was like, oh,
I know, right? We're gonna have to start.
Huh?
We're gonna have to start finding a different time to do our. We're gonna have to start finding a different time for our show so we can be in the studio together.
Yeah,
because it does feel different.
It does, yeah. So we're getting ready to we're putting together the next Juicy Bash, which is going to be in September. We're gonna solidify the date, time, location, place. It's going to be a live podcast for everyone to come out and hang out with us. We're gonna do
party with us, not just have conversations.
It's gonna be saucy,
yes, and juicy.
Yeah, it's gonna be luscious and salacious and all the sauce. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be all the sauce. So we're gonna start promoting that very shortly. So we want you all to participate and come through. Bring all your monogamous friends. We're trying to convert for 2025. At least I am. Trying to get some more folks.
Trying to convert people out there.
Yes, this is my mission. This is my mission. I'm trying to get folks to make love abundant. I'm trying to be like Jesus. Jesus says love abundant. That's my mission in life. Just love everybody. Oh, me and my wife are planning to attend.
Yay!
And your girlfriend.
Yes, bring your girlfriend too, JT.
And her
boyfriend.
Say, bring your husband, bring your wife, bring your girlfriend, bring everybody.
Everybody.
So, yeah, bring all of them. So
That's
yeah, so we're
awesome.
going to let y'all know when that's going to happen, which is coming up in September. We're putting the details together. So yeah, so we're going to have a good time, and this was a good conversation. Me too. Yet again, the
Yes.
poly pimps are always pimping. I'm telling you.
Spreading the word and
In
spreading
the word of
everything
love. This
else.
is just a mission. This is love. This is just like church, baby. So yeah, one of my friends a long time ago on Facebook, she had a Facebook group called the Coochie Church. And it was a group, I don't think it exists. The reason why it doesn't exist anymore is because
Mhm.
she actually became a born again Christian and she had to
Ooh.
put away all that. But it was such a good group because it was about sex positive behavior for women. And they say like out of 100% of the women, only like 15 to 20% of women orgasm.
Lord, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know
So
what I'd
if
do.
that's the case, then there are what 70-80% of women don't really know what God really is. Let's just put it that way. Because and that's
Yeah.
really sad, and then
It's sad.
it also speaks to the all of these ways that you're supposed to be in a relationship and stuff, and what, and a bunch of like boxing women in. When you start liberating women a lot, your society grows. Let's just be real. And you
Mhm.
know what, this is not a man haters thing. This is a man lovers group. We love men. We want to uplift men, especially black men. We want to uplift them. We want to make them whole and strong because we know they build the world and build the nation, and we come here to feed them and make them feel good. Let's see. Kaim said, I recently told my partner, who I've never had sex with, that I love her. And the love is so pure and genuine, but she is drop dead gorgeous, and I have always desired her.
Now, I guess the next thing is to let her know that you desire her, Kaim. I mean, you never
Wow.
know what may happen. We're happy for you that you could at least express that. How did she receive it? We want to know.
We want to know the dirt, the salt.
Yes,
So
tell
yeah,
us.
we can go because black is a blessing, you said you wanted to keep this call short today.
Yes, because the Leos are celebrating the season.
Is your
And
birthday coming? When's your birthday?
my birthday is the 20th, and I
Oh, that's
am
good.
a
Oh,
great Leo, you know.
oh, so you're kind of cuspy. You're Leo Virgo cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got some Virgo coming into your.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Yep.
awesome. I that's why we get along so well, because I get along good with that Leo, because I'm the Aries Pisces cusp. More on astrology later, but
Yeah.
um
But
yeah.
yeah, so this weekend I am celebrating with a few people,
Mm,
and the band will be playing. So I have a lot to do. And as a Haitian woman, I love feeding people. So when I'm having
wow.
parties, I actually cook. And it's so much work. So I gotta get the
I
house
know.
ready,
I'm so
everything.
sad I can't make it. My little boy is 16 and demanded a party. I was
You have a
trying.
lot of Leos in your life. So
Oh,
you gotta spread the love. I get it. It's all good. It's all good. He's stealing my sunshine, but he's a fellow Leo, so I'm gonna let this one go.
he's like, what do you mean? He was like, what do you mean you're going to a Poly Pimps event? And I was like, oh well, yeah. Like, this is the day that you celebrate me,
Yeah,
your
right.
last born child. And I was like, damn. Okay,
It's
sure.
okay. I totally
But
understand, but you've seen us throw it down before. You've seen the band do their thing. So yes, we're gonna bring down the house this weekend for all the Leos. Now we might sprinkle a little love on the Virgos as well, because
yeah, they
we're
need
not
love.
selfish people, but We are here for the Leos. So if you are a Leo, happy birthday, happy celebration month and year. Let's party, baby.
Now let me
So
ask you, what is today? Today there's a special thing going on in the universe. But JT has a question. You might want to pull that up.
Mercury is in retrograde for a little while.
That is true.
Yeah, me too. Will people from your polycule be there? As you can see, some
Absolutely.
of the new words have stuck with me. I love it, JT. I
He
love
took the
it.
course. He took
We're
the
going to
course.
bring you the Bible and thank you for using the words. Look at you. You are educated, poly-educated
Yes,
now.
he's probably educated. Yes,
Yes, some of my polycule will be here
in the
and
building.
some of them are going to be missing because, life is life and right now for some of them. But yes, um, I have a couple of them that are coming with their partners and it's going to be great. We're all going to party together. Yes.
Oh yeah, today is the Lionsgate portal, August 8th. It's
And
a
what is that?
it's
What
when
does
the
that mean for us?
brightest star in the night sky, Orion's belt, aligns with the Earth. That's for my
Ooh.
astrology fans. So I'm gonna
You know
go ahead.
what? Tonight I'm going to have to play that song.
Which one?
Um, when we meet at Orion's belt, I'll show you where we're supposed to be. Oh my God. Now I can't remember who sings it, and the words are vaguely coming to me. But it's such a beautiful song. Now that you say Orion's belt, I'm gonna have to play that tonight before I go to bed.
And
Ooh,
you gotta
and
send it to me.
I know, yes, you're gonna love it. It's such a sweet, beautiful song. And I forgot, I want to say it's Janae that sings it. Orion, I think it's called Orion's Belt too. At Orion's Belt, I'll show you how we're supposed to feel when we meet at Orion's belt. I'm pulling it up now so I can tell everybody because it's such a beautiful song. Oh, it's actually Sabrina Claudio, and I love her. Her voice is very soft and sweet and genuine. Yes, go listen to it. Orion's Belt, Sabrina
Post it
Claudio.
in the group chat so that everyone can go and pull it up.
Okay, let me do it now.
So yeah, so we're gonna be signing off for the people in the back, and it's been a pleasure, and I hope you have another great 2 weeks. Until we meet again on the next Thursday, not next Thursday, but the following Thursday.
Yes,
So
two
that we
Thursdays from now.
2 Thursdays from now, because we got a lot of stuff going on, and we want to at least drop it like it's hot every 2 weeks. And we want to help people understand that polyamory is not just hoes and sluts out here, even though we can do that too.
We
we're,
can do that too if
we're
that's what
okay with
you
that.
do.
It's really not that negative.
Okay, I
um
just sent it in the chat. Everybody should listen to this song tonight.
I'm gonna
Loving
check.
the energy, ladies. Salute, salute.
Cool.
Thank you, JT. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, like our Facebook, follow on Instagram. I know you are very shy about being seen on the poly pimps, but we promise it's liberating, like Kayim said. Share
Yeah,
it with a
I
friend
want
you think might
partners to know they're
benefit.
following the pimps, so
Right. Share it with a friend you think who might benefit from our word. Rewatch the episodes yourself because, oh my God, there's like so much information. And remember, send us questions if you have any. If you want us to talk about a specific topic, we are very open to that. If you want to come on our show and be a guest, you do not have, we repeat, you do not have to be polyamorous to be
oh
on
yeah.
this show. We talk to everybody and we love sharing information, knowledge, and exchange ideas with everybody from different walks of life, different orientations, and different love life. So please continue to join us. And thank you guys. Have a great night.
Peace, y'all.
Bye. Oh, he said share the YouTube page. I thought we had that on there.
Share the YouTube page.
Yeah, just type the Poly Pimps.
The Poly Pimps on YouTube.
That's it.
It's pretty easy.
Yep.
We're the only Poly Pimps.
That's it. That's
There's
just,
no, there's no
just
others.
the very sexy Poly Pimps. You guys have a great night.
Peace, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.